All right, guys, ranting and racing live right here in downtown Detroit. We are actually coming to you from where a couple of spotters were at this whole race. Going ahead and show this off here. We got the little sticker.
They left their stickers.
So we took them. I'm enjoying a cigar post-race celebration. Our first time being on the road. What did you think of the race?
Race was pretty good. I didn't watch a lot of it, honestly. I was running around. Right here behind us is the pit road, the split pit road. That was questionable at times. A lot of people had questions about the pit road, but I was more over in the paddock area.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was coming into this race. You had a lot of controversy on far as the race setup, how it's going to play out, how the racing is. There going to be passing? Is it going to be too chaotic? And I thought it was really cool that the race turned out really good. Most of the drivers, even post race, really tend to enjoy it, and they said that the track got better and grippier as everything went on. And most people said, other than a few small tweaks, they really enjoyed it.
I kind of agree with you, but to disagree at the same time. From my take on it, it seemed like whoever ran well really kind of liked the track, and whoever didn't really like the track. I talked to a few drivers that unfortunately crashed out. Most notably, David Malukas. We actually talked to him before the race, and of course he crashed out. Talked to him, and he wasn't a big fan of the track. Romain Grosjean, he crashed as well, and I didn't get to interview him, and I'm kind of okay with it because he was heated. And when I say heated, like, he was mad, like swearing, very angry. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like if you ran really well, that they enjoyed the track. Alex Palou kind of talked about how it got grippier and it was a better race than he thought it was going to be. He also won the race. So I feel like if you ran really well, then you liked the track. If you didn't, you criticized it.
In the heat of the moment, too, I think that's the other thing. When you fall victim to it, look, when we're at street courses, you're going to have more issues. There's going to be more contact with the wall. The street courses are supposed to be tight.
This one just seems a lot tighter, though, than the others. I mean, looking down here, coming onto, the checkered straight, I don't know that you could fit two cars through there.
Well, Pato tried it, and it didn't work.
Well, there you go.
Yep. So overall, though, I think it does. It's your experience, and it's your perspective, and I think that's part of, racing in a new track and things like that. But there's a lot of people who aren't going to be 100% happy with the way.
If you scooch this way, we got Robert Wickens racing down pit road here.
Yeah, okay.
It's always cool to see him back at the racetrack.
Yeah, it definitely is. But you want to turn and face the camera? There we go. And, so, just overall, I think this race was a success, both from a fan's perspective. The fans were having a blast. I really enjoyed the fans. They were awesome. They really were. Yeah,
the fan turnout was really good. I think the free area really helped with that. I know there was a lot of people running to victory lane, myself included, at the end of the race, and then I had to run back to the media center. So it was. I ran all over this racetrack, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did a little bit today. So
I do a lot of running though when it gets to the racetrack.
Yeah, so he's special, but
I love racing.
Yeah, well, don't we all? But I do think that this track, not just the race in general, the whole weekend, it was a success. I think you're gonna continue to to do what IndyCar and even what we want to see with IndyCar is growth, and this race is going to continue to grow. What I think is the best racing in the world right now, the most competitive series in the world right now, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to play out.
Yeah, I know. I talked to David Malukas and a few drivers before the race about pit road, and they said that most of it would be fine as long as there was no like pitting under caution, like mass groups. And I think the pit road went fine.
Yeah, there was one incident coming out of it, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, and again, it was just someone deciding they weren't going to yield for Scott McLaughlin, and he did say that it probably cost him a chance to podium. But at the end of the day, he said, he finished in the top 10. He's happy with what he did, and overall, I'm super happy with what happened here.
Yeah, I think it was a great race. I think it was a great turnout on the fan perspective. I don't know that you could ask for much more.
No, I don't think you could.
I mean, the fans were packed. I mean, this is such a unique track. We have people standing on top of parking garages watching this race. In a parking garage, that's actually where we're standing right now. This was a great view of pit road and this last turn onto the checkered straight. So that was another unique thing here with the starts on one side and the checkered on the other.
Well, I mean, it's just for the start because you can't.
Well, it's a longer straight to get the start going.
You have to have that longer straight. I think it's set up perfectly. You give the green flag over there, and then your finish and start line's over here by pit road. I mean, it's great because you have this tight turn. There is passing available, but you have to be coming out of it and then be able to get around and shoot that stretch. Pelot, man, he was just too powerful today.
He was. I mean, Pelot. There was one time, the first stint where he was on the alternates and Power was on the primaries, where Power really closed in. But apart from that, I mean, he was just dominant.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd too because I just felt like when we're sitting in the post race press conference, and a lot of people are talking to him like, "Hey, you're finally getting on this roll," and I just feel like sometimes people underestimate Alex Pelot. We're talking about a guy here who is...
I mean, he's a past champion.
He's a series champion and a recent series champion. And it's like we're surprised that he's on this roll. And I feel like
he's with a top team and he's a past champion. How do you not say the guy could get on a roll any second?
Like, now he's got a 51-point lead in the championship race.
Yeah,
and it's
mean,
you're like, hey, you're finally on a roll. It's like, thank goodness he had some hiccups at the beginning of the season, or I think Max Verstappen this
I
series.
don't know. I feel like he's had some struggles, and I feel like, I mean, Will talked on it too. Like Indy, he just really messed up and lost a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Will would be right there with him.
Yeah, and Will is closing the gap like he always does, just like he did last year.
It's Mr. Consistency.
He is going to continue to close the gap. You have a guy like Pato, a guy that you guys know. I love me some Pato Award, and he's made some big mistakes these last two races, and he's went from leading over the last month.
I would say about all year. Like,
yeah, but he was leading. He was
problems.
Leading the series in points. He is now fifth.
Yeah, but you look at the incident with Dixon. That same race, he kind of lost it and lost a lot of positions.
Yep.
Indy, that's just a late move. While I don't criticize him for the move, it was just a late move.
Yeah, well, and
then here, I mean, he's 2 laps down. What is he? Why is he pushing at that point?
I think that's only something he could ask. And the thing is you're a competitor. You're asking, like, I've got
you're
of children in the world, and they will compete over literally anything, and they will draw blood to to win.
This, in my opinion, is a little different. I mean,
well, it's a professional.
It's a professional sport, and he's trying to protect as many points at that point as he can.
Yeah,
and with the track, the unknown of how many cautions you could have. I mean, I just feel that he at that moment in time, he kind of had a lapse in judgment.
Yeah.
And just crashed it. Yeah. And I feel like he could have salvaged a few more places. I mean, look how many more crashes there was after his.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to criticize, but the fact that he's an all or nothing type racer this season, we'll see where it's at. I mean,
it's gonna hurt him at times, and it's gonna be good for him at times. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just that mentality. You have a mentality like that where it's go for broke every race, mm-hmm. and then you have the willpower.
Yeah, I think the one thing that people too got to understand with Pato is he is becoming one of the better drivers as far as handling, whether you're at a street course, whether you're at a road course, or whether you're at an oval. He is very consistent among all of them. Like, he's not the best at any of those three types of courses that we have here at the NTT IndyCar Series, but he is very good and capable of winning any given weekend, and that is something that a lot of these guys in this field can't do. They have their forte and they have their Achilles heel. Pato doesn't have an Achilles heel.
I think his Achilles heel is going for broke.
Well, it's his self right now.
Yeah, his self is his Achilles heel, and like I said, it could be good, could be bad. Right now, he's on the a bad swing.
Yeah, 24 years old. I think he'll mature into being a much, much better driver, and I'm sure the McLaren team and Rossi and these guys being around him, Tony Kanaan, he is going to learn and continue to grow and continue to be one of these top guys in this series for years to come. So, other than that,
just heartbreak for Graham Rahal again.
Oh man,
but I mean, they can't catch a break.
No, and I think with the podcast we'll dive into this more, but I think we're gonna talk about a little bit about Graham's future, and if this team, because I feel like this team, and I don't mean like the team that works on, because they are.
You mean the organization as a whole, not the team members that are working and spending countless hours working on these race cars.
I think the organization may be heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah, we'll have to touch bases on that because But just a quick recap here from the Detroit GP, and make sure you follow, subscribe, because we have a lot of content we put out.
We do. We'll be dropping an episode tomorrow, more than likely.
Tomorrow evening,
It's going to drop. We've got some post race interviews with some of the drivers that did not get to finish.
Yeah.
As well as we're going to finally share with you guys our interview that we had with NASCAR champion Bobby Labonte.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of content and stuff.
We have a lot of content, and tomorrow's podcast will just be uploaded as an IndyCar podcast. We will touch bases later on, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, on the NASCAR F1 side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. So from Detroit, Randon Racing wants to thank you guys for listening, tuning in, following us. Please be safe, and we'll talk to everybody soon.